So I haven't been on a date in over 3 years, but it hasn't always been that way. Back in college, I was a total degenerate frat boy. And so I started dating around, getting on all the dating apps, meeting random girls, hooking up with them, meeting them at the bar, bringing them home from the bar, and just being a total screw off, basically. But back then, I would go on dates left and right. I would meet a new girl every single week, and it was easy, it was effortless. But with that, and with the territory that I was in, and the different areas that I was looking for women in, it came with a lot of very broken, very damaged, very addicted, very toxic women, and also toxic relationships. And so we would fight all the time, we would argue, we would be fornicating, we'd be doing basically whatever we wanted, and we would form these like deep sexual attachments. We'd become obsessed with one another, and all of these relationships were very unhealthy. And I got to a point in college where I just continued to fall down the same rabbit hole. I'd meet a girl off a dating app, I'd start talking to her, things would start getting serious. We'd fight a ton, we'd argue, we'd go and get drunk at parties and act like idiots and embarrass ourselves in front of other people, like other fraternity brothers and other couples. Like I would always end up being the couple that was fighting and arguing with my girlfriend, and it was super embarrassing. And every single one of those relationships would end the same way, miserably. And I got to a certain point where I was tired of going down the same road and getting the same results of failed relationship after failed relationship. And my brother ended up getting saved by Jesus Christ in 2020. And after I broke up with the last girl that I dated in 2020, I decided that I wanted to give my life to Jesus, and I wanted to give the whole Jesus thing a try, because obviously what I had been doing was not working. And so over a period of about a year, God completely changed who I was as a man. He changed my desires. He helped me to break free from things like porn and alcohol abuse and trying to seek out validation from women. And instead of doing that, I started seeking validation from God and strengthening my relationship with God. And not only did God change who I was, he also ended up changing my environment. And I ended up moving from Lafayette, Louisiana to Austin, Texas. And I started fresh. And so since moving to Texas, I have not been on a single date or dated or talked on the phone with a single woman. And that's pretty embarrassing to admit. And it's been a very long period of time, very lonely at certain parts of this journey. Lots of time just spent wondering, like, when am I going to meet a girl? Like, what do I need to do to actually prepare myself so that God feels that I'm ready to be blessed with a girlfriend or a woman that I could marry? And it has not been easy. But over the last 3 years, I've also learned a lot. I've been on this isolation period for a while. God's used this time to sharpen me and help me to become a better, more biblically based, like masculine man of God. And he's used this time to really prepare me for the relationship that is to come. And so the reason for me making today's video is because I want to take everything that I've learned on this period of isolation, and I want to pass it on to you, especially if you're a single guy who's waiting to inevitably meet the one day. Now, if you don't know me already, my name is Braden. I help Christian men to completely transform their lives through faith-based self-improvement. If you're tired of getting the typical red-pilled, cringy dating advice and self-improvement from guys like Hamza and Andrew Tate, and you want to learn self-improvement through a biblical perspective, do me a favor and scroll down and click on that subscribe button so that you can see more videos on your homepage just like this one. So sometimes, in order to strengthen us and help us to become better followers of Christ and better men so that we can be prepared for a relationship or marriage one day, God will put us through a period of isolation to sharpen us, to develop us, and to guide us towards becoming a better man. And so in today's video, I want to give you 5 steps to completely transform your life through this period of isolation so that you can come out on top. Now, step number 1 is you need to cultivate a deeper relationship with God. Also, realize that if you're single right now and you have a desire to get married one day, all it means is that you're just not ready for a relationship. And so what we need to do is we need to prepare ourselves so that we can be ready for that relationship. And a really big part of getting ready is you need to be ready to lead this relationship spiritually, and also as the man in the relationship. You need to put in the work so that you can become the man that you need to be to guide yourself in your own life, but also to be able to guide your future spouse in a relationship or in a marriage. You need to put in the work so that you can become a man with a clear direction, somebody who knows where he's going, but also you need to become the spiritual leader that your future family is going to rely on. So make sure that you start to prioritize spending time with God, reading your Bible, and growing deeper in your relationship with Jesus. That needs to become a top priority in your life. Matthew chapter 6, verse 33 tells us to seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. Another thing that you need to do is join a small group or community so that you can have a sense of accountability in your life. Two great options to be able to do this is either at church, like finding a small group or discipleship group or a Bible study that you can join, or you can take the online approach. And if you want to take the online approach and join my personal community, we've got over 200 guys who are all on faith-based self-improvement. Go ahead and click that top link in the description and join our free Christian Discord. Another thing that I would encourage you to do is to find a spiritual mentor. You need somebody who can disciple you and who can guide you to becoming the man that God created you to be. And once again, you can find this at church, or you can join our free Christian Discord. Click the top link in the description. So if you didn't already click the link that I asked you to click 2 seconds ago, you can do that now. Step number 2 is you need to discover and develop your purpose. I want to encourage you to explore the gifts and the talents that God has blessed you with, like the unique things that you enjoy doing, but also the skill sets that God has blessed you to be able to do, right? If you're good at a certain thing and you enjoy it, that thing most likely is your purpose. It's the reason that God sent you down to this earth. So figure out the gifts and the abilities that God has given you and use those things to serve people in your day-to-day life. Your job as a masculine man of God is to figure out which people on this earth you can serve and also how you can serve them, because you want to make a spiritual impact on this world. You could do this by building a business. And what I would do if I was in your shoes and you wanted to start a business is figure out a part of your life or a struggle that you've had in your life that you've been able to overcome, and use the knowledge and the skills that you've gained to help somebody or to serve them, to help them to overcome the same problem, right? Maybe you have people in your life who struggle with weight loss, or maybe they struggle with building a business and they don't really know how to grow a social media following on the internet. And maybe you know how to do that. Or maybe you have people in your life who struggle with corn, or they struggle with an addiction, and you've been able to break free from one of those addictions. You need to take the knowledge and the skills that God has blessed you with to help those people. And you can do that by building out a product or building out something you could sell to them to actually help them to solve their problem. Another way that you can find your purpose is by creating content on social media, similar to what I'm doing right now. You can post content on Instagram or YouTube. Those are the two platforms that I would suggest, because those platforms are the ones that most people in my demographic are using. And a good piece of advice is focus on creating content on the platforms that you consume content on the most, right? For me, that's Instagram and YouTube. And so once you pick the platform that you're going to post content on, I would figure out the things that you're passionate about, but then also pair that up with spreading the gospel. So you could be really into fitness, but you're also a Christian. You pair those two things together and you give advice about fitness and how to get into better shape, but you also bring them the gospel throughout your content. And I see this all the time. Guys will be, working out in the gym and they're giving advice about Christian self-improvement, or they're working out in the gym and there's Bible verses going throughout the Instagram reel. And you can do the exact same thing. It's a lot easier to make content than you think. A lot of us just overthink it and we get in our own head and we worry about, maybe Jimmy from 6th grade is going to judge me for making this content. He's going to send it to one of his friends and they're going to both make fun of me. And all this crap, and we just cope and just make excuses and we externalize instead of just doing the things that deep down we know that we want to do. And especially if God is calling you to do something like that and you've been pushing it off for a while, you need to stop. You need to just get uncomfortable, put some faith into it, and take action. One of the best things that you can do to prepare yourself, especially in this period of isolation, is to sharpen your leadership skills, because inevitably you're going to want to have a wife and you're going to want to have kids one day, and you need to be a strong leader with a sense of direction and a purpose. You need to know what you're doing and you need to be able to lead people. And a great way to sharpen your leadership skills is getting in a small group and leading a group of younger kids, right? Discipling them, telling them about your personal testimony, telling them about what Jesus has done in your life, and teaching them basic biblical principles from the Bible. Treat them like they would be your own son, and it's a great practice for when you are a dad one day. You're going to know how to lead them and to teach them and to pass on the same biblical principles to them. Another great way to discover your purpose is by learning more information. You can do that by either reading books, watching YouTube videos, like literally binging every video that I've posted on this channel, or you can listen to educational podcasts. And I'm not joking, please binge every video on this channel. Step number 3 is to practice godly discipline and self-control. Masculine men of God are disciplined, and a fruit of the Spirit is self-control. So what I would do if I was in your shoes is to create a structure around your day-to-day, right? Have daily habits that you do every single day that edify your spirit, edify your body, and edify your mind. I would start working out consistently if you're not working out consistently already. I personally go anywhere from 5 to 6 days a week, and it gives me something that I can focus my energy into. I can grow my body. I can see tangible progress in that area of my life. But it also gives me something that I enjoy, where I can go out and enjoy working out, spend time with friends, meet new people. And overall, it's just a great opportunity to go and be with the boys and to meet new people. And yeah, just to get out of the house. I spend so much time just working all day. Like, you need something in your life that you go out, like a hobby or something you can go do with your friends, and something that you could look forward to. Also, if you're not already, you should be eating healthy, right? The Bible tells us that our bodies are a temple, and God has entrusted you with your body. So you need to take care of it. And especially if maybe you're overweight or maybe you're obese and you're in a similar spot that I used to be, because I used to be over 300 pounds. You don't like going outside. You don't like, buying new clothes because you don't fit in anything. And that's no way to live. Like, I would highly encourage you, if you're in that spot, to lose some weight and to get in the gym, start eating better so that you can feel more confident in your own skin. Another thing that you need to focus on in this period of isolation is becoming celibate, right? If you're struggling with something like pornography or beating your meat, and it's been in your life for quite some time now and you struggle with it day after day, you need to take this time to break free from that addiction. And if you haven't seen my video already about how to overcome lust, I've got quite a few of them on this channel. You can go ahead and click the little card up there and queue it up. Do not click off this video and destroy my data analytics. You can watch that video after this one. And a mistake that a lot of guys who are in this Christian sphere are making is they believe that, oh, once I, get married, then this addiction is just gonna vanish and I'll be okay then. So I can just struggle with corn for decades, and then God's just gonna give me a woman and then I can start having sex with her and it's all gonna be all right. And it's just gonna go away. And that is not how this works. You need to break free from that before you get married. Because imagine bringing a 10 or 20 year long corn addiction into a marriage. That's just not gonna go away overnight. What happens when your wife doesn't wanna have sex with you? What are you gonna do? You're lying to yourself if you think that you're just gonna white knuckle it, and if she doesn't wanna have sex with you, you're just gonna not go watch corn. You're full of crap. You definitely will, I promise you. So you need to do the work to break free from that before getting into a serious relationship, so you can actually give your full 100% devotion and attention to your wife. And regardless of whether or not you guys have sex all the time, you can still stay pure in that relationship and honor your wife in that relationship. Step number 4 is you need to invest in meaningful friendships. Men need camaraderie. Men need friends. Men need especially godly friends that they can spend time with, grow with, learn the Bible with, and develop with. As a man, you need to have a group of friends that you can go and hang out with and do things with, like going and working out or going to dinner or going play golf or whatever. You need to have guys that you can hang out with so that you're not focusing all your attention on women or dating or going out and trying to pick up girls. And realize that you're only going to be as strong as the men that are on your team. And what I like to do, because I have strong leadership qualities, is whenever I meet people at church or I meet people at Bible study or whatever, I'll get them in a text thread and I'll just invite them to whatever I want to do. If I want to go eat with some buddies, I'll invite them. If I want to go play golf or go to Topgolf or do something on the weekend, I'll invite those guys out to hang out with us. And I'm intentional with those relationships because I want to form a strong brotherhood of Christian men in person as well. We have the Discord online, which is great. It's good to have live calls and be able to connect with guys from all over the world. But I still think it's really important to have a community of men that you can fellowship with and grow with in person, because typically those relationships are going to be a lot closer and you're going to be able to share more with guys in person than you probably would online. Like you need guys who can keep up with your day-to-day reality, like your actual life. Guys who can support you, be there for you, listen to you whenever you're struggling with certain things, and also be there for you when things are going well. Guys who can build you up and support you in the good times, right? Let's say you get a girlfriend or you get a new job or you're growing deep in your relationship with God. Like you need to have guys around you that can celebrate those wins with you in person, not just online. Like humans need a personal one-to-one interaction, like a personal relationship with people in reality. Like I know that our entire world just wants you to, put on like one of those VR headsets and just spend every single day inside, but that is not healthy. That's how you end up becoming a total incel with zero social skills. And you do not want to end up like that. Another reason why you want to have an in-person community is so you have a group of guys that you can go and serve with. Mark chapter 9, verse 35 says, "And he sat down and called the 12." This is Jesus speaking. "And he said to them, 'If anyone would be first, he must be last of all and servant of all.'" So get your boys together and go and serve in the community. You can serve at church. You can go out and feed the homeless. You can go to Goodwill and donate clothes. You can go and, work on helping people to build their houses or doing wildlife restoration work. But it's a really good opportunity to bond with your friends and actually serve the community and be Christ-centered servants for the rest of the world, right? The Bible calls us to be servants. The Bible calls us to use our skills to bless people and to help people. Most importantly, you just need to show up. You don't need to overthink it. You don't need to, get in your own head and, well, I don't know if I can even do those things. Like, just find something you can do and show up. It's that simple. Step number 5 is you need to embrace personal growth and development. I want you to identify areas in your life that you can grow in Christ-like character. Areas like patience, humility, gentleness, being more loving, being more kind. And what I would do is I would study God's word. You can study YouTube videos. You can study whatever you need, right? Go to church, figure out what you need to do, but really focus in on the areas in your life that you're lacking spiritually and pour into those areas, right? Focus on becoming the most Christ-centered version of yourself. Figure out how you can love people better, how you can love people like Jesus loves people. Figure out how you can be less judgmental and be more accepting of the people around you, especially people who don't have the same views that you have. Right? And just lock in on those areas of your life and develop in those areas. Another thing that I would highly suggest is absorbing as much faith-based self-improvement content as you possibly can. Do not listen to guys like Andrew Tate or Hamza that just fill your mind with degenerate garbage. Because whether you understand this or not, the more that you consume content that is filthy garbage, it will affect you subconsciously. Like it will go into your subconscious mind and influence the way that you talk, the way that you act, and the things that you do. So you do not want to fill your mind with crap. The Bible says in Proverbs 23:7, I believe, that as a man thinketh, so he will be. So God realizes how important it is to fill your mind with things that align you closer to becoming a Christ-centered man. And so you can watch videos like my videos. You can watch guys like Ryan Walker, David Hammond. I don't think there's a lot of good like faith-based self-improvement content out there, honestly. That's why I have this channel. But binge my videos, like I said. Watch my videos, watch these other guys. They have really good content as well. And fill your mind with things that's going to edify your spirit and help you to actually get closer to becoming that man that God has called you to be. And once you start filling your mind with the right content, go all in on developing yourself, right? Whether that's physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. Find those areas of your life that you're struggling in or that you're weak in and go all in on improving those areas of your life. You want to be a man who can provide, who is a strong leader, who has a purpose, who has direction for where he's going. And this is not in a prideful way, but you want to be the man that whenever that woman comes in your life, there's no doubt in her mind that you're going to take care of her and that you are the man that God has created her to be with. Also realize that your self-improvement journey is lifelong. Self-improvement, just like following Jesus, is an ideal, which means you're never going to fully attain like being a 10 out of 10 Christian. Like it's never going to happen. And that's what is so awesome about it. You always have areas of your life that you can improve on and the areas in your life that you can develop in. There's never a day where you can just sit back and say, oh, I am a 10 out of 10 in every area of my life. I'm done. You can always be doing more work. If you want to learn more about how to become the most masculine and biblically based version of yourself, I want you to go ahead and click on this video. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. I hope that God blesses you, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.